Right on the desk. Right on the desk. Make sure your name is on it. Uh, we are live from downtown Mill Bay. There we go. Yeah, yeah. Bet you haven't seen that before. Yeah. Why is this doing that? Why is... Okay. Excellent. We've got some questions. And we've got some names. A couple of things. When you write your name on it, you need to make sure you have both your first and last name. I try to avoid thinking as much as I can, and if you don't have your last name on there, then I have to remember what it is, figure out where it is in the alphabet as I put things in. It just makes things easier for me. Secondly, if you did not hand it in yet, does anybody know how to hand in a homework assignment after hours? Like outside of class? Yes? Mailbox. How do you put something in the mailbox? Reception. So the important thing is you go to reception, make sure my name is on it as well as your name. Otherwise, they'll, after you leave and they realize the teacher's name isn't there and they forget what you said, they'll just put it in who they think it should go into. And then I get all sorts of random science and math stuff as they don't necessarily know. So make sure both a teacher name and your name is on, and that can go for any teacher. Okay, and we were at the end of here. Did we finish this page? Does everybody have the notes for all of this? Everybody does. Excellent. And we are going to do value judgments. New definition. Nope, not that one. You can start getting that down as I figure out what's going on with the computer. That seems to work. The value judgment is what we do for all sorts of things. Someone tells you something, and you make an instant value judgment of whether or not you believe it's true, how trustworthy it is. There's different procedures you can go through to figure out what is its true value judgment. What should I weigh? What should I not weigh? Oh, I thought this was an article. YouTube, where are you taking me? Oh, right. I will turn off the live stream for a second. because anybody who's not here will have just heard nothing but darkness. We'll do that in a second. So we'll finish off these notes first. Critical thinking equals critiquing of thinking. So these are notes. You can start getting these parts down. And this goes with our definition from before. Objective truth, which we discussed a little bit last day, is true or false regardless of belief. If you stop believing it, it's still true. If I stop believing that chocolate mint ice cream is the worst ice cream in the world, then it no longer is for me. I can change the facts with the power of my beliefs. But if I stop believing in gravity and take a walk out of the second story of Privet, I am probably going to at least break a leg. It's still true regardless of whether or not I believe in it. That doesn't mean subjective things can't have consequences. If you believed subjectively, if everybody here believed tomorrow that all the banks were going to fail, and then you went and convinced your parents, and then your parents convinced all of their friends, what would happen to the banks? They would all fail. They're only powered by the power of our belief. If we don't believe in them anymore, then they don't have money anymore, because we would stop believing in their money, and money only exists as long as you believe in it. If you're wondering where a bank gets money from, you go to a bank and you want to borrow $1.5 million to buy a house. And the bank gives you that money. Where did they get the money from?
Interest.
Interest from what? Nope. They didn't get it from other people's money.
They manage your money to make more money.
They don't use any of your money. You don't have money.
Well, the money you give to the bank, they like invest it in stocks or whatever.
Nope.
You can make more.
The government prints money.
The government does print money, and they don't print money based on something they have. They just print money. But most money is not printed anymore. It's just virtual in the bank. When you get the loan, and that loan is approved, and you have to pay back the loan, then whoosh, that money comes into existence. It's just made in the loan process. They get it from the Bank of Canada, who just allows that money to be invented. It used to be that they would take your money that you had in the bank, and let's say you had $1 in your bank account, they were allowed to lend out $7. So they always had some money if people ran back and said, where's their money? They're actually lending out money they don't have. They have to pay it all back. If everybody walked up to the bank tomorrow and said, I want my money, or stop paying their loans, the banks would have no money. It's powered solely by your belief. It is an entirely subjective thing that we've all agreed will be objective. And it is true because we believe in it. That's why we teach you about Santa Claus, so you can believe in money later on. Because if you don't believe in money, all of capitalism will fail and we'll have to start seizing the means of production.
Do banks actually have those rooms in the back, like a huge vault filled with like gold bars and $100 bills that they have in bank robbery movies?
Those are left over from the time when there was something called the gold standard. So it used to be, if you put money in a bank, the bank had to keep on hand a certain percentage of money that they lent out to back it up. That means so if you walked into any bank, you could put down $1 and say, give me $1 of gold. It was backed by gold. So it's actually tied to something real. So the value of your money rose and fell based on the value of gold as well. And later, they said, this is silly. And they unhitched it from the gold standard. That's what Fort Knox was in the United States, a place where they kept all the gold for all the banks. And they just said it's not based on gold anymore. It's just based on the power of everybody's belief.
So what do they do with all the gold?
They just sold it. We're buying gold now that hasn't even been mined yet. If you go and buy gold online, like through a stock or anything, you are buying, in many cases, future gold that they think will be mined someday. They haven't mined it yet. No company has even been formed to mine it.
So it's like a ticket to a
Yeah. We're buying and selling more gold than actually exists on planet Earth.
So it's like a fake business.
I've been told not to think about it too much. Just pretend it exists.
Okay.
Yeah. That's different if you're investing in gold and you buy like actual gold. But to do that, you have to get the actual bar, and then you have to store it somewhere, and then you have to security. And so that's really difficult to do. So people usually buy like an interest in gold. And then someone else does all that. But that costs money. So if you buy future gold, it doesn't cost you any money to store it.
So do banks like not have vaults anymore filled with money?
Oh, they have vaults filled with money, but it's your money. Because you can go to a bank and rent a box. And in that box, you put whatever you want. So people will, because banks have historically been secure, people will buy a bank vault. That way, if their house burns down, their passports, important value items, important documents are all protected. So there might be money in there, but you have to open all the individual drawers and find out what's there. There and then there.
When you say you can put like whatever you want, does that mean that if you put like illegal substances, they're not going to snitch on you?
The bank is not allowed to open it without your permission unless directed to by a court or an officer of the law with a warrant. So it would be difficult. One of the most annoying things you could do is if you could manage to get one without revealing your true identity, because they are absolutely going to prosecute you for this, is leave a dead fish in there. Because they would have to go through such a process just to get it open without your permission that it is going to stink for a very long time. But you need a fake identity for that, and that's its own task.
Do they know beforehand what you put in there?
Nope. They leave the room.
Oh.
Yeah. It's secret to you.
Do you have
So
a
you
dead
could
fish
just
in your
put, like,
bank?
Don't get caught.
No.
A lot of cocaine.
I don't have a bank one, just so you know. It's not that I don't have a dead fish. You have to pay monthly to have a thing in a bank that's holding your stuff. I find it's cheaper if I just hold my own stuff, because I'm not too worried about what are they going to get if they rob me? $20 in a lab coat. Like,
So they so you buy a subscription for the opportunity.
yeah.
A bank.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, how did you just
Question.
solve-
Is there like cameras in the room?
Not to record you putting stuff away, no.
So then how, like, you could just like, so there's only security outside of it, like only.
Right, yeah, because you want privacy. You're not putting anything illegal in there, right? Because that would be wrong. So as long as you're not doing anything wrong, what's the matter with having some privacy in there? Like how all of you just assume that you're going to be doing bad things. Sometimes you just don't want people to know what you're doing. Because if someone could read, if there's a camera, just on a purely prosaic level, if you have certificates of some kind that transfer your ownership of something, and there are cameras recording that, that could be used to steal the identity of it, steal the material itself with documents. There's a lot of things you wouldn't want recorded. Very recently, someone posted a picture of them going on a trip, and in the background were their flights tickets. Someone was, from that very blurry photo, was able to pull the pictures off, get the codes off of it, and then use the tickets on their, like, instead of them. They lost their tickets because someone else used them and faked an identity just off of a blurry photo. There and then there. Yep.
Could you just like put drugs inside of like the bank thing? And,
No, because that would be wrong.
yeah, but like, can they control it?
No. Right now, just to be clear, like right now, you could have drugs in your lock drawer. There's no cameras in your room,
Yeah, but I mean like,
and we're not going to check today as long as you clear it out before number one inspection.
but like when you're like a drug dealer, so you can just store drugs in the bank.
You could, yeah, but you'd always be going in and out of the bank because you'd have to get your drugs. And eventually, if the bank decides you're being suspicious, they may contact someone. I think it's suspicious, and then they just have to. Yeah, but that's the whole purpose of having an investigation force is that you have to display something suspicious. They have to have a reason to investigate you. That would have to be reported because we shouldn't be investigating people who are innocent. But if you transfer money in a bank over a certain amount, they automatically report you to Revenue Canada. Because if you travel at anything exceeds $10,000, they automatically report it because you might be moving money around from money laundering, avoiding taxes, and doing illegal things. But that way, everybody just moves $9,999.
That's me.
Yeah.
Blockchain.
Yes, you had your hand up for a long time.
So like you say like putting bad stuff in the bank is wrong, but like it's wrong by like your standards. What if it's like if there's like a ant crisis in like Chile or something and I needed to like store like anthrax or like rice in the bank to use for the ant crisis. That would be right by my standards, but it may be wrong for yours.
I think you could. I'll take it in the spirit it was given. I think you could imagine a scenario where you're doing something illegal for good reasons, and you're using a utility. I would just say your specific example, rice or anthrax. You were going to kill somebody in that bank. Some of those things are so toxic in such small amounts. There is no good reason for you to put everybody else at risk, nor to store it in a bank. There is way more secure, safe storage. But let's say you did have something that was illegal that could save lives. You know, Project X, whatever it is. It might be, but then you might be able to justify it morally. But we're not. But if we're talking about drug dealers funding crime, I'm not sure you can make a good case there. Yep.
Back to the fish thing.
Yeah.
Is that illegal? Like,
Oh yeah, it's against the terms of service you will sign.
oh, it is.
Yeah.
So you can't put like a corpse in there.
No. The boxes are little. You're not fitting a body in there.
You can densify it into like a cube.
That's it's not that big. Even if you put them into goop, you're not. Then no. Last one.
What if I put in a live fish in the box, but
It will die. It will die.
But like after it dies, is it still illegal?
It will violate the terms of service.
What if I put a baby?
No, we're going to stop here. I don't feel these questions are being useful. I think they're just entertaining.
I'm curious what the limits are.
So, next one. To balance the objective claim, true. Why is this not moving? Anyway, I can't get it moved. It's true. It is true. Subjective claims could be true and false. You could say you like chocolate ice cream and you're merely trying to impress someone and you actually hate it. So you can lie to yourself. But they are only true when they're believed. If everybody stops believing in money, tomorrow money goes away. If everybody stops believing in math, math goes away. Well, that's probably not quite true. But math is possibly invented. And we're not just talking about opinion, because people like say, oh, that's just an opinion. Opinions can be objective. They can be facts. They can also be subjective. Subjective and objective are not necessarily opposites. Opinions could be true and false. They may be not even be subjective or objective. They may be just based on some sort of feeling. You're not really making a statement there. Opinions can be anything. They're just a point of view. And I'm going to put into notes some of what we discussed last day. And then there's a little practice. Anybody not done with those two lines? Excellent. Draw some chocolate and vanilla ice cream. Now, of course, the best type of ice cream, this is actually a false slide because it's peanut butter chocolate ice cream is the best ice cream. But you could change the example to whatever you like. Can be subjectively true and subjectively false. It is only true if you believe. And if true for you, it may not be true for someone else. So one thing that makes a subjective claim, and I'm going to have you judging these in a moment, is can you believe it and someone else believe the exact opposite and you both can be right? If that's possible, it's entirely subjective. So you believe that vanilla ice cream is best. I believe that chocolate ice cream is best. We're both right. And then I will show you the weirdest ice cream I've ever found online. I actually thought of it before I found it. And I said, this must not exist. And then someone said, you know, it's the internet. Everything probably exists somewhere in the world. And they probably have a picture of it. Good with these? Anybody still ready? Anybody need more time? more time. No objections. Hitler ice cream.
You what?
Apparently, a company in India had a line of famous conquerors ice cream. So they had like Genghis Khan ice cream. They had General McCarthy ice cream. And to the person who invented this in the ice cream company, Hitler was just one of these strange historical figures. And I don't think they really understood the historical context outside of their region where they were doing it. So yeah, at one point you could buy Hitler ice cream.
What, Mr. Gibson?
It doesn't give the flavor specifically.
It looks like it's strawberry.
Fortified, permitted colors. It's kind of reddish. I'm hesitant to find out what Hitler tastes like. I suspect sadness.
Why is it pink? Like,
I don't know why it's pink.
If I associate a color to Hitler, it definitely not.
It's not pink. Yeah, and the entire pink triangle thing makes it also in somewhat poor taste.
Why
So-
were you ever questioning the fact that there's Hitler flavored ice cream? To actually search it up though.
Oh, specifically for this, I was like, in flavored, and then I was like, wouldn't it be amazing? Because of course, when you get into ethics, everything comes down to genocide eventually. And so you're like, wouldn't it be hilarious if there was Hitler ice cream? And so I searched for it. I was like, well, Dosh Garn. There's actually Hitler ice cream.
You just said
It
Dosh
exists.
Garn.
I said Dosh Garn.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
does Hitler like occupy your mind for like a decent amount of time every day?
Oh, when I'm doing ethics. Not when I'm not doing ethics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. And when I mentioned why it's a bit inappropriate that it's pink, does anybody know why a pink triangle? Yep. Historically, if you were sent to the concentration camps, they of course had the Jewish stars to identify people. I think people are somewhat familiar with that from history class. But if you were also LGBTQ, you would end up getting a pink star. You were also put in the concentration camps. If you were Romani or a gypsy origin, you got your own identification. Can't remember what it was. You were also put in the camps. And also, if you were just like unhealthy, so you had like asthma or diabetes or you had like, you were born without a leg, like in some way you were unfit, you were also put into the concentration camps. So they actually put a lot of people into the concentration camps. The pink star ones really helped when the Allies took over, because when the Allies took over and they freed everybody in the concentration camps, they put everybody with a pink star back into jail. Then they gave them back to the Germans, because obviously you can't let the gays run around. That would have been just terrible. And so for some people, World War II being rescued wasn't the end of their problems. It just continued with new people. When we talk about ice cream flavors being subjective, the reason I like this as an example is you wouldn't say, or it's really seem weird to say, sherbet ice cream is evil. And even if you said it, it doesn't mean the same thing as Hitler is evil. Hitler is evil. I'm hoping that it can be said without controversy. But ice cream is evil, even if I don't like it, is not the same statement. If I say chocolate mint ice cream is evil, I am indicating I merely don't like it. If you like chocolate mint ice cream, it doesn't say anything about, it says a little bit about your character, but not a lot. But if I say Hitler is evil, and then you come up and go, the more I read about this guy, the more I think he had some good ideas. You have immediately classified yourself in a whole different situation than ice cream. One of those is objective statements, and one of those are subjective statements. And it's helpful to, when you say that, to indicate which one you're doing. Some words we reserve for objective. Evil tends to be reserved for objective. Because it's English, we can do it any way we want. And just to be clear, I'm not saying in any way. I liked Norm Macdonald's take on it as displaying some sort of clueless person. Yeah, exactly. That's what you're doing.
Oh.
Yeah, that's your job. And now I'm going to do attendance, and then I'm going to start asking people which is which. Attendance, class dojo, attendance, my school. Okay, attendance quickly. Timmy, Ben. Ben is not here. Oh. Where is this one? So that's attendance. Ben, Lily, Archie, Zoe, Lisa, Felix, Zane. Zane just went to the bathroom. Casey, Annabelle, Clara, William, Alejandra, Kate, Violet, Naomi, Brandon, Hugo, Parker, and Had, Kieran, Kieran Van Fleet. Yeah. Kate, Anderson, and Thomas. Okay. Kieran is the only one for which I do not have notes for, so bear with me while I send an email. Stop that. Excellent. Okay. Zoe, first one. Subjective or objective?
Subjective.
Subjective. Yeah, why?
Because it's an opinion.
It's an opinion. Sure. We can do good terminology. Tastes better. We just did a lot on ice cream. There we go. Next person is Brandon. White vinegar removes lipstick stains. Rice vinegar doesn't. Objective. Why? Because why is it facts? I'm gonna be a little annoyed and impress you a little bit. What makes this? You know, if I believe in it, what's wrong with that? If I say you're wrong,
But still true,
oh,
even though if you don't believe it.
still true even if you don't believe in it. Okay, or still false even if you don't believe in it. None of these are guaranteed to be true either. Kate, 3. None of the school administration is good humor.
Subjective, because like some people might think about the school administration is like
Hilariously funny. Yeah. Because humor's weird. Mr. Snow's the funniest person I've ever met. Every class is a laugh riot. Naomi. 9 students collaborated on that project. Objective? Why? Because it's a fact that they collaborated. Could you be wrong about this? Yeah. So that's another way you can. If you can be wrong about it, then it's probably objective. Apple shares are significantly overpriced. Clara.
Subjective.
Pardon?
It's subjective.
Why?
Because it's opinion. Or like, it depends.
Hold it. You just said it's objective and it's opinion. Why isn't it objective?
I mean subjective.
Oh, you mean subjective.
Yeah. Not objective.
Did you change your mind or was it that way all
No,
along?
it was that way on.
How many of you put objective for the last one? A few of you. Some of you. And everybody else, how many put subjective? This implies some people didn't do anything because not everybody put up. How many of you never put up your hands when a teacher asks a question? Oh, this class is... By definition, you should not have answered that question. Subjective. Because what does overpriced mean? There are people who buy Disney shares with no intention to ever make money. They just like owning a piece of Disney. And so whether it's overpriced or not just depends on how much you buy for a gift or for a personal item.
Couldn't it be proven to be overpriced?
Pardon?
Couldn't it be proven to be overpriced compared to like surrounding shares?
Sure. But overpriced according to whose criteria?
Well, would there be a certain criteria that's agreed upon by the majority?
Are you saying the majority is always right?
For the most part.
Really?
The majority. Well,
So if we went back in time, slavery's okay?
no.
We go less farther back in time, Germany's right? In Germany, because they're the majority.
Well, I mean like during civil times.
Civil times. So when the Roman Empire was at peace.
I have never done research on the Roman Empire,
Oh.
so I can't say one way or
I was
another.
picking them because they also had slavery.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you as firm that the majority is always right now?
No, but there's a majority for a reason.
Yeah, because there's more of them. That's the only reason.
Fair point.
Yeah. Sometimes the majority is just the majority for historical accident. Sometimes the majority is because it's the easiest thing to do. Sometimes the majority is the majority because they're right. But until you know why they're the majority, sometimes they're the majority because a group of people have actively worked to make that the majority with advertising campaigns. If it didn't work to advertise, they wouldn't spend so much money to do it, or would they? Okay, that was well done. I am going to go back because I would like everybody to learn how to do this. I have posted a link in the Google Classroom. I want to see if that you can do it. You are going to get an email from Kia, and you're going to use it to log into the Google Classroom link that looks like that, Activity 1-3, objective or not. Oh, come on. One. Why is this not working? No, there it is. Yep. You haven't been. It's going to come in your email. And I didn't want to. I was going to send it last night, and I warned everybody. And then I'm like, that'll probably just be confusing, and half the people will like send it to spam. So I'm going to send it right now. I'm going to email now. Oh, before I send it, there's the other thing I want to discuss. Because one student that got you'll get sent a username and a password. The password, I have to emphasize, is randomly generated. And the reason I say that is it takes two words and puts them together. And one day, a student got a password that was like, failure you. And they thought I made it and was making a comment about them. I have no idea what it is. But you also need to know you can change the password to whatever you like. It's not your Brentwood password. However, if you change it, I can always see it. So if you make it your password you use for Brentwood, your bank, and everything, then theoretically I could break into your bank. But of course, you don't use the same password for everything, right? Nobody would ever do that. So your bank password and your classroom password, those are all different passwords. Right. Now, I swear, as an ethics teacher, I am not going to break into your bank. But you should know that if you did change it to something, I can see it. Okay, it is sent now. You should be able to get to a page. You just click off of the Google Classroom. You get to a page that looks like that. You enter your username and password. And you log in. Hello. Ooh. This is great. Now,
This one's brand new, and then we have 3 more coming.
perfect. Question: should we hard send them away to be hard? Where my word's going? Hardcover. I don't know why I had to walk away from to read that. The other ones came soft cover, and then we sent them somewhere in Victoria. We made them hardcover.
So I don't know, you can ask Claire.
Okay.
Sure. But she was talking about maybe as an extra to resell these back in the newer version.
Oh, okay. I could do that. This always.
Because we can't get them.
Yeah. Well, let's see if I can get all 24 back.
Because there are companies that will buy them. That's how I got these ones that we bought.
Oh, okay.
Off Amazon, but it was off company.
Okay. It's just a really expensive textbook, so I've been told before. But if Claire's willing to buy a whole new class set, I'm willing to buy that.
So you can talk about it from there.
Okay.
Is this English?
What is big?
Yeah.
What is what?
What is big?
Diddy is totally big to me, man. Yeah. Yeah. It's slang. I like, this is the part where I get to say, it actually doesn't matter if you understand it or not. You can probably still interpret it because of how English works. Because if I said, you know what, Archie, your street's ahead.
I clicked the thing and it gave me that, so I don't know what.
Someone your dress is good.
Do you know what I mean by that?
Wait, what?
What do you mean?
If I said, hey, you know what you are? Your street's ahead.
Mr. Neufeld, is she real?
I don't know.
You don't know what street's ahead is, but can you understand what the sentence is doing? Why not? Who's the subject of the sentence?
Can you repeat the sentence?
Archie Baldwin is streets ahead.
It's about me.
It's about you, so we've got a subject.
Yeah.
I'm applying a quality to you. The only thing you don't know is if quality is good or bad. But you can still judge.
Relax.
What? What does Diddy is
What?
totally big mean?
They didn't even know if she's facing
Examine your eye.
She could.
Subjective or objective?
Depends on what you think.
What? Oh, so is that subjective or objective?
Think means like someone who's
What is
It'll tell you the
Unless
answer.
she actually can. I don't know.
what is gross? Like
What if you're wrong?
driving while gross.
Driving drowsy.
Oh yeah. What's that?
Objective is like the fact-based one.
Yeah. Objective is like the fact-based one.
Apparently Diddy is not totally big. And apparently Diddy is not
These are
totally
all of them. There's a P there.
What is Diddy?
P Diddy.
Diddy is totally gay.
Five, which now that I look back at it, is so
3 and 12.
I got 5, and 10.
No, 3 and 12.
I got 8.
Coming right over, 1 second. Okay, who called my name? Someone said that should. Yes. You have the results. So, now I get to announce. For this told you, as you went along, it told you the answers. You can do it more than once if you want to go through and practice again. The version you will get on Saturday's class, you can do more than once, but it will give you a random selection of questions and you won't be able to see your answers. So for tonight, for prep, you have some practice to do. You have this one, and you're going to have activity 1-4, which is subjective or not. I'll just give you a bit of a quiz on Saturday with these similar types of questions. This is a practice method so that you can go in, it can give you feedback right away, and you can see how well you did. These ones here, it keeps a record, but it's all formative. I don't put that in. But the one on Saturday is sort of summative. Yeah.
Did you create this test?
Dude, the bear showing your
So come in the near tutorial, so Tuesday, because, or you could come in tomorrow and do it early. That seems long. So come in on Tuesday's tutorial and we'll quickly do it. It won't be pretty.
What does bank mean?
It's a slang term. You could substitute if you want streets ahead.
So Diddy is
Streets ahead.
What does bacon streets ahead mean?
You could also substitute totally tubular.
Oh. But why were you asking for responses?
So one of the things for that one, do you know what bink means?
No.
Does it matter? In terms of judging whether it's objective or subjective.
Okay, well, for the first one, it said P. Diddy equals bacon. So to me, which it would be not subjective because that's an opinion, but the answer was subjective.
Right, so if you can say it's he's bink to me, could he be not bink to someone else and both of you be right?
Yes.
That's what subjective means.
No, but the answer was objective.
What?
It
Show me.
said that
Show me. Lies. Lies are
Is
right.
that because one of them has to make it to the one?
I can go find it. I can go find it.
P. Diddy is yeah, and I put non-objective and I was wrong.
Let me go to it. Why is it not here? There it is. Kia. P Diddy.
Oh yeah, 92.
Wait, oh no, that's objective. Because it's two. So both are objective? The one that says not to me. That one is objective.
No. Oh, no. I just double checked the answer key. The correct answer is not objective.
So subject.
Right.
No, the correct answer is
Show me where it says that.
right now.
I'm saying that's totally lies, and my claim is an objective claim.
Boom. Says objective is the correct answer. Boom.
Right, because objective is the incorrect answer.
No, it says objective is the correct answer.
Oh. What did you?
I said not exact. And I was marked incorrect.
Is it on here twice?
There's two different questions about P. Diddy, and they both have different answers. Oh no, it's the one that sent to me.
It's in there twice, and one of them is wrong.
No, it's the one that said like.
Oh,
it's totally being-
I was reading the wrong one. Yeah.
Question 7 is the one.
Yeah. Sorry. I was thinking of the first one. P Diddy is totally bink to me. Is objective.
No, but if it's to you, isn't that an opinion? Which
No.
would be-
This is a really good point. So if I could get the class's attention, if this is easy for you, then just play along. If everybody can actually, at this point, I will continue on. I'll give you more chance to practice later. So now you can put your laptops down, get your notes back out. I will give you another one in just a second, but we're going to go back to Hitler's ice cream. Okay. So,
Yeah, class party.
no, we should after all the talk of ice cream, we should probably have a mint chocolate chip ice cream party.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, is anybody here allergic to dairy? Lactose intolerant. Well, there's also allergies, so I don't. And nobody here? Is anybody here anaphylactic to anything that could be an ice cream? Anaphylactic to nuts? Seafood? Nobody should be having Zane? Don't say that again. You said cocaine. Stop doing that. You said cocaine. Stop doing that. Okay, laptops away. This last question, then, this will introduce the P. Diddy one because I was confused with what someone was asking. If you say
We should have ice cream.
chocolate ice cream is the best ice cream, is that an objective or subjective statement?
Subjective.
Subjective. If I say chocolate peanut butter ice cream is the best ice cream to me, that's objective. Because can you be wrong about what it is to me? Yeah. I can also be lying. As soon as two people can be wrong, now it's an objective
What if
claim.
you're lying to yourself and it's like not the best?
Gaslighting.
Well,
Say that, yeah.
people lie about themselves all the time. It's called a resume. Yep.
So let's say theoretically, there is a universe where there's like a small group of people, and they have vanilla ice cream and like chocolate ice cream, and they all collectively agree that vanilla ice cream is the best ice cream. Is that
Right.
still subjective or is it objective?
What do you think?
I don't know.
It would be objective.
If can everybody have collectively the same opinion and it still be subjective?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, if everyone has the same opinion,
Someone said no. That's more.
Compare that universe to a different universe that might think chocolate.
But isn't that how facts are created? Is everyone agrees upon it with like in the same way?
Yeah, they don't know
Aren't
that.
facts just opinions that are like agreed upon by the?
If
majority?
for example, there is a county in the U.S. that tried to make pi, 3.14159234152, exactly equal to 3. They passed a resolution and everything. It's also defined as 3 in the Bible. They say that it goes around the circle 3 times, which is a very rough estimate of pi. Does it make it 3? If you build a building using pi equal 3, will that building stand up as well as someone who makes it as 3.14159234157? Like,
265355859.
I don't know. I just start making up numbers at some point. Yeah, yeah. So if you get everybody to agree that pi is equal to 3, does it become 3?
No, it's
No.
more than 3.
So can everybody be wrong about a fact? Yeah. So we don't agree on facts.
So there are no facts.
Does that mean that there are no facts? Because do they exist whether or not we believe in them? Yeah. So I think it kind of means the opposite of that.
Math is fucked.
Yeah. I just post another link. If you could double check, you can log into the next one, which is 1-4. Is it subjective or not?
Is it the same password?
Same password, same username? And you can do that for 3 minutes. How much time do we? Yeah, you got 3 minutes. Do that one for 3 minutes. And I will stop